The movie begins with Charlie Maddie returning to the city after a joyful trip with his young son, Anatoly. Upon entering the city, Anatoly excitedly wants to stop and watch a street performer. Charlie smiles and tells him to go ahead, saying he will follow after he finds a place to park. But then the unexpected happens. As soon as he steps out of the car, Charlie is confronted by a group of masked men who open fire on him. Despite being shot multiple times, Charlie miraculously survives. As his consciousness began to fade, memories of the past flooded Charlie's mind. He recalled his youth in prison, listening to grim warnings from a mafia boss known as the Old Man. With a deep, heavy voice, the Old Man warned him that once someone enters the world of crime, there is no turning back. In the present, Charlie is rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Doctors work frantically to save him, carefully removing every one of the 22 bullets lodged in his body. The scene shifts to Tony Zakia, a powerful and cold man who has just received news about Charlie's condition. His sharp appearance and calculating demeanor make viewers wonder if he is behind the assassination attempt on Charlie. Meanwhile, the shooting shocks the public and becomes front-page news on national television. The anchors reveal that Charlie was once a notorious mafia figure but had retired from the criminal world. This news only increases the tension and mystery surrounding the bloody attack. In the next scene, Police Captain Marie Goldman appears, showing a special interest in the case and deciding to go to the crime scene herself. Meanwhile, as Charlie lies on the operating table, painful memories of the past return. He remembers his youth when he learned that the Old Man, the mentor he deeply respected, was killed by a ruthless rival. This loss ignited a burning desire for revenge in Charlie. Together with his two close friends, Tony Zakia and Kareem, he planned to take revenge on Hernandez, a notorious gangster they believed responsible for the Old Man's death. The young men, fueled by anger and the desire for vengeance, swore to remain friends and stick together like brothers. Determined, they went out and successfully took revenge on Hernandez. This moment marked the beginning of their dangerous journey into the mafia world. Back in the present, Police Captain Marie Goldman faces pressure from her superiors. They advise her to close the case, arguing that Charlie is just a former mafia member and that gang killings are not a police matter. However, Marie ignores this advice. With unwavering determination, Marie continues her investigation, hoping to find the killer. She visits Charlie in the hospital, where he is recovering from a difficult surgery. Despite her attempts to interrogate him, Charlie remains silent, creating a heavy and mysterious atmosphere. Marie leaves the hospital room, visibly frustrated, just as Charlie's lawyer, Martin, enters with his two close friends, Kareem and Pat. That night, after putting her son to bed, Marie was startled by an unexpected phone call. Old pain resurfaced, and she spent the rest of the night drinking in silence, remembering her late husband. Meanwhile, Kareem, filled with rage, was determined to seek vengeance. Loyal to Charlie, he was ready to do whatever it took to track down and confront the person responsible for the attack. Martin advised Kareem to remain calm and wait for Charlie to wake up from his coma before making any decisions. Before leaving, Kareem instructed Martin to look after Charlie and never leave him alone. At the hospital, a man disguised as medical staff silently sneaked in and approached Charlie's room. Without hesitation, he pulled out his pistol, pushed the door open, and coldly fired multiple shots at Charlie. The gunshots echoed through the hospital, sending doctors rushing to the scene. They found a body, but the victim was not Charlie. Thanks to her vigilance, Captain Marie had already moved Charlie to another room before the attack. She immediately reinforced security and established a team to monitor the hospital directly, ensuring Charlie's safety. As she watched, Marie saw Tony Zakia enter the hospital to visit Charlie, raising further suspicion. Before leaving, he left a congratulatory card with a subtle warning. Surveillance cameras were everywhere, and the police were watching from the ambulance outside the hospital. Shortly after, Kareem and Martin visited Charlie and quickly took him out of the hospital. Marie immediately followed, determined to track their every move. Kareem quickly realized they were being followed and sped up to lose his tail. He contacted a friend for backup. When Marie lost the trail, Kareem drove straight to an old warehouse where one of Tony's men was tied to a chair. The man was so terrified that he could barely keep his composure. Charlie, calm but cold, assured him that nothing would happen to him if he cooperated. Frightened, the man admitted he was not involved in the shooting, but revealed a shocking truth. Tony Zacchia, Charlie's former best friend, had ordered him to be tracked and attacked. Tony wanted Charlie dead because he had retired from the criminal world, leaving him in control of the drug business. He feared that Charlie might return and challenge his power. This revelation left Charlie confused and disbelieving, unable to grasp that his closest friend would conspire against him. Kareem urged Charlie to kill Tony as soon as possible, but Charlie was conflicted. Tony was not only his best friend, but also someone who had sworn vows with him in their youth, making the decision even more difficult. Kareem relented, and Martin drove Charlie home, where his family warmly welcomed him. The reunion gave Charlie some comfort after all the turmoil. Kareem returned to his family, but late at night, he was suddenly kidnapped by Tony's men. It turned out that Charlie's kidnapping had been planned in advance by the man who had been tied up in the warehouse, the one who revealed all the information, and he was immediately shot dead. The attacker even cut off one of Kareem's fingers and sent it to his family as a cruel warning. Charlie, who had been focused on his work in daily life, remained unaware until he received the news of Kareem's death. Shock and grief completely overwhelmed him. At the funeral, he stood silently watching Kareem's family mourn, his heart heavy. Anger and rage surged within him, and his desire for revenge became uncontrollable. Before carrying out his plan, he asked Pat to quickly take his family to a safe place to avoid danger. That night, Tony's associates threw a loud and carefree party, acting as if they felt no guilt about torturing and killing a man the night before. But their joy would soon end, as Charlie had now become an unstoppable troublemaker. Unarmed, Charlie gave them one last chance to say goodbye to their loved ones, as their lives were about to end. He shot one man, recognizing him as the one who had shot him earlier by the distinctive watch on his wrist. Charlie easily escaped, while the others could only tremble in fear. The next day, one of Tony's men visited the graves of the deceased, but was killed by Charlie before he could light any incense. Seeing that Charlie had begun killing, Tony immediately ordered a search of his house and family, but they found nothing suspicious. Meanwhile, Charlie was peacefully relaxing with his loyal cat in a quiet corner of the city, oblivious to the search. A while later, Martin, Charlie's lawyer, arrived at the house and was shocked by the chaos inside. He quickly warned Charlie, unaware that one of Tony's men had tracked him and discovered Charlie's hideout. They were soon surrounded. Cold and determined, Charlie confronted the attackers, holding them at bay while Martin escaped by boat. One of Tony's men caught up to Martin, cornering him with no escape. Charlie sped away on his motorcycle, but the men pursued him closely, and he accidentally crashed into a police car. He was immediately arrested, forced to face the authorities, and reunited with Captain Marie Goldman. That night, Tony was celebrating his daughter's wedding, a stark contrast to his brutal actions. Unbeknownst to him, Charlie hid outside and captured one of Tony's men. Before dealing with him, Charlie demanded all the data on Tony's drug transactions, determined to expose every secret. When he learned what happened, Tony's rage erupted. He left the party and rushed to his drug lab, unable to control his anger. Losing patience, Tony ordered his men to capture Charlie, dead or alive. The next morning, Pat picked up Charlie's children, Anatoly and Eva, from school. Everything seemed normal until a truck suddenly pulled up nearby. The men inside kidnapped Anatoly and drove off. When Marie arrived, she realized it was too late. Shortly after, the police found Eva and brought her to the station. Eva, covered in wounds, broke down and revealed that Anatoly would be killed unless Charlie surrendered. When Captain Marie left the station, Charlie suddenly appeared and got into the car with her. He asked her to create a fake news report claiming he had been arrested, hoping Tony would stop searching and release his son. Charlie promised to turn himself in if his son was safe, and Marie agreed to help. When Tony heard that Charlie had been arrested, he was furious and sent a henchman to kill Anatoly. Unbeknownst to him, Charlie silently followed the henchman on his motorcycle, heading to where his son was being held. Inside the house, another of Tony's men was guarding Anatoly, and he was ordered to kill him immediately. Instead, he hastily freed Anatoly.
Nie. Zamknij ryj.
Outside, Charlie was caught in a barbed wire fence, struggling to escape. When the thug dragged Anatoly and shoved him into the car trunk, Charlie burst out, brutally beat him, and rescued Anatoly.
Już dobrze.
When Charlie returned home, he told his wife they no longer needed to hide, as he had eliminated all of Tony's men. The next day, Charlie unexpectedly appeared while Tony was relaxing. He was willing to let things go because of their old friendship, but Tony, driven solely by his thirst for power, was determined to eliminate Charlie once and for all. Tony pinned Charlie to the ground and aimed a pistol at his face. But when he let his guard down, Charlie quickly gained the upper hand. The police arrived in time and arrested Tony for running a drug operation. It turned out that Charlie had helped Captain Marie gather enough evidence to convict Tony. When questioned, Charlie was released, as there was no evidence linking him to drug activities, and the police had no choice but to let him go. After leaving the station, Charlie was picked up by Martin and asked to go to the parking lot where he had been shot. There, Charlie realized that Martin had been the one who shot the wall that day. Feeling betrayed, he pointed his pistol, but Martin explained that Tony had only ordered him to kill someone without specifying who. Martin admitted he was shocked to learn the target was Charlie and could not carry out the order. In fact, Charlie had shot the wall as a gesture of thanks to Martin. The final scene shows Charlie and his family enjoying a day at the beach, walking happily under the sunset.